Hello everyone, welcome back to Coding Tales. In today's video, we are going to build a nodes management system using Java, Spring Boot, and SQL. This is a beginner-friendly backend project where we will create a clean REST APIs to add, update, delete, and fetch nodes. In this project, we will also work with the fields like created and updated time, which are commonly used in real world applications. So, if you are learning Spring Boot or preparing for a backend interviews, this project will be very useful. Let's get start the video. First, let me explain what we are going to build. We will create a notes table with fields like ID, title, content, created, and updated related fields. Then we will implement APIs to create a notes, update a notes, delete a notes, and view all the notes. And we'll test all the API using Postman. Now, let's start by creating a Spring Boot project and then we will design the nodes entity. Okay, first of all, what are the tools we needed here? First of all, we need a Spring tool suite IDs. If you are using IntelliJ or VS Code, you can use that as well. If you're using a Eclipse, you can use that as well. Okay, so I'm using here a Spring tool suite, but some people says in comment you have to shift to the another IDs. Okay, so for that, in the next video, I will use IntelliJ IDEA, but in this video, I'm using a Spring Toolsuit ID, same as the previous one, because when you are creating a projects like a Spring Boot related project, the Spring Toolset is the best IDs and where you can easily to done your projects. So I prefer to. You also have to use that, but don't worry if you are not using. So I will make the videos using IntelliJ IDs as well. But currently I'm using a Spring tool suite. So first of all, I have to I will open the Spring tool suite. Just search as Spring. So yeah, as you can see here, if you are a first time user of a Spring tool suite, you have to run as a administrators. But I am not a first time user, so I am open like a normally. Okay, it will be opening. And the second one which we needed is a Postman. Let's open it. Postman for the API testing. Okay, if you are someone don't know about it, so Postman is used for the API testing. And one more thing we need a MySQL database. So let's open the MySQL database as well. Okay, okay, MySQL is also on now. Yep. Okay, now it's opening. Now, first of all, what we need to do here, as you can see here, there is no project presented here, so it will be showing like this. But if you already having some project in that place, then you might be getting confused how to creating the project. So two ways we can create the project. First of all, we can create the project using a create a new Spring Starter project. Okay, relating to this, and you can create it. Second one, just use a command like Control N and third, the Spring Starter project. As you can see here, it will be showing that the Spring Starter project and clicking here and click to the next. And after this, you will be getting this. So here you have to write your project's name. So let me write nodes, NOTES, nodes. Okay, no problem. Nodes, MANAGEMENT, management system. Make sure it does not exist the make sure in your project name should not have a gap. So better to understand when you are writing the code, prefer to not be having a gap. Okay. And the type of project is a Maven. Packaging I will take as a Java. And the Java version you can use more than 17. I'm using here a 17. If you are having a lower version of Java, still you can use it. I will tell you after creating the project, okay, how to use that. So I just select 17 here. Language as usual Java, and the group ID you can use what you want to be. I'm using same as a org.jsp. You can use org dot your name or your school names, college's name, whatever you want, you can use it. And the artifact ID, just write something like yeah, it's better to notes management system. Okay. Then the version is same as this. Don't touch this. And the descriptions are same as writing notes, or if you want to something else, you can give that descriptions. After this, you have to provide the packages here, and this package is your parent package. If you are getting confused right now, don't worry. After creating the project, I will understand you what does it mean. Okay, so the org.springboot is same as it is. After this, just write nodes, something relatable. Name should be something relatable. Okay, management management system. System. Okay, this is the our parent package name. After this, just click to the next. After this, here you have to select all the dependency which you need to implement your project. So first of all, what we need to save our data in the database. For that, what we need a MySQL driver. But performing to creating the project of a Spring Boot and start to code of anything like whatever the project requirements, you need Spring Boot dev tools. Okay, to implement your project. Okay, a Spring Data JPA used to deal with the data which is going through the database, and also we need a Spring Web. Okay, these are the dependency we need right now. If you are using a Lombok, you can use it. Lombok is basically is a annotations, the shortcuts of writing the constructor and getter setters related things. You can use a Lombok. If you're selecting a Lombok here, still you can't use it. Before you select the dependency, you have to first install the Lombok in your system. Okay, so you have to go to the YouTube and watch some other videos where how to search like how to use Lombok. After that, after installation of Lombok, you can use very easily in the Spring Boot project. This is a very useful tool when you are implementing a real world project. Okay, there we don't have to write a constructor every time. We don't have to write getters and setters related things. So it will be automatic providing by the annotations. Okay, so I'm not using here. It's a beginner friendly project, so I'm not using a Lombok here. And after this, just click to the next. And now just finish it. This way you can create your project. But what if you're using other IDs where we did not have to these features to create the project through the ID? In that situations, you have to go to the Chrome. Okay, here you have to search a Spring initializer. Just a Spring initializer. Okay, Spring project initializer and search it. As you can see here, the first link is there, Spring initializer. Just click here, and after clicking this, you have to, as you can see here, you will be getting a beautiful interface here. Through this, we can create the project and import in the another IDs. How to do that? Here, just select the Maven project. Our project is a Maven project. Select Maven, language Java. Spring Boot, you can use a version which you want to be. The current version is 4.1.0. You can use it. I'm using same as the 4.0.2. Okay. And after this, here the group ID. The group ID, what you have to write? You can write it. You can write like org.jsp or whatever you want. You can write it. Artifact ID, Spring Boot. Sorry, not a Spring Boot. Uh, okay, take it. Oh, nodes. Okay, nodes. Name is nodes, and the project name will be a NOTS nodes management 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 system SYSTEM system. Description: write it at a writing or implementing implementing nodes. Okay, nodes application, and the package name you can use org.jsp.nodes or nodes management 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 system. After this, select the packaging jar and the configuration properties. Same as properties, don't select the YML. And the Java version you can select 17, 21 or 25. After this, just click to the generate button. But before clicking to the generate button, we have to also select the dependency which we need to implement our project. Clicking here and search Spring Web. We need first, second Spring Dev Tools, Spring Dev Tools, Spring Boot Dev Tools. Second, third, we need a MySQL driver. And the third one, what we have, Spring Dev Tools and MySQL driver. That is a Spring Data JPA. Spring Data JPA. Select here. And after this, just generate. Click to the generate. As you can see here, you will be giving you the options where you have to download this project. I just download here and just go to this place. See, the nodes zip is present. Just extract it. First extract here and then import in your ID which you are using. If you're using IntelliJ IDEA, in there you have a option called import your project. And by using that, you can import your project. And after this, you will be using same as a Spring tool. So there is no difference between a user interface. Okay. So this is the way you can do this project. So now let's move to the our project part now. I hope you are clear right, till now. Okay, here let's come to the inside of this project. As you can see here, we have multiple folders here. Okay, by using these folders, we will create the our project. Okay, so let me explain you what are the things you have to know before we creating. As you can see here, this RC main Java. Here, our all the code is present inside of this. And as you can see here, the second option is SRC main resources. Here, our application properties should be present here. Whatever the configurations you need, whatever the database connection you need, you have to initialize here is called application.properties. Here, you have to initialize that. And this is not for you right now, Spring Test Java. And this is the library which we will getting. And as you can see here, the map and dependency. How we get, because of the adding the dependency, it will be creating a map and dependency where all the related files is present here is that are dependencies. Okay, as you can see here, the multiple things is present like Spring Boot Tomcat, Spring Boot Web MVC related thing is present here. And after this, this is also not important. And as you can see at the pom.xml, let's suppose if you are forgetting to add the Spring Data JPA, or if you forget to add the any other dependency, in that situation, in the pom.xml, you can add that dependency here. how you can go to the Chrome and search a Spring dependency, and you can go to that website. Let's go to the okay. Just come here. Spring dependency. Have a dependency. I think the first website. Okay. Now here search Spring. Is it Spring Data JPA? Search it. Yeah, as you can see here, it will be showing a Spring Data JPA dependency. And click here, and as you can see here, there are multiple versions of that Spring Data JPA. As you can see here, the latest one is 4.0.2. Just select this, and here you will be getting the dependency. As you can see here, this dependency is available here, and just Control C. Okay, just Control copy this dependency here and go to the our project Spring Data GPA, and inside of this dependencies is a parent tag. Inside of this you have to add your dependency, just like here Control V, and when you are doing this Control S, it will be automatically add the all the dependency of the Spring Data GPA. This is the way you can go through this if you are forgetting to add any other dependencies. Okay, now it is clear now. I think it is clear. Okay, after this, just uh, close this, and let's move to the our main part of the coding part. So in this RC main Java, here we have called a Spring Boot Nodes Management System. This is the parent package where the nodes management system application is present. And here our project is start to execute because of the annotations called the Spring Boot applications. So our application is start execution from the here, and it will be giving you the output through this. So first of all, let's suppose if you are writing the code, you need a package. Till now you are using as one package, and there are multiple ports is present. But this is not a right way to write the code. If you are writing a code, you have to manage the systematic way to write the code. Let's suppose if you're having a school, have and there a class, inside of class uh, having a student of class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, you will be getting confused which class which student is present. So for that reasons, you have to separate the class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4, so that you can understand easily. This is the class 1 student, this is the class 2 student. Okay. So for that reasons here, we need a package that structure way to write the code. So let's suppose if you are having a business logic like logic which you are implementing, for that you need a service package. Let's suppose in your front end part, the front end part called let's suppose Chrome is searching anything, and you will be getting the data after searching. Click to the searches. Why? Because front end is called the client side. Okay, so client is communicate with the backend side. So for that reasons, we need a controller where to communicate with the client to the controller. So let's come here, click to the package, and Control N, search package, and then click to the next. And here the first package we need are entity. Why entity? Let me tell you why. The entity where our tables is present. Tables means which is going to create in the our database. For that reasons we need a entity package. Next one is again we have to click to the parent package, and see this package is a sub package. Sub package means child package. Okay, So why child? As you can see here, after the nodes management system, it will be having a entity dot entity. Entity dot entity means inside of the parent package. So next one is control and again create a package called a repository. Repository. Why we need repository? The uh, repository is a package where our database related thing going to present to perform the operations. How? Imagine if you are login performing the login operations, okay, where you have fields called mobile numbers and password. But when you are entering the mobile numbers and password and click to the login button, what will be happening in the background? In the backend side, what will be happening? The if the controller is first layer is a controller where our client is communicate with the controller and the controller communicate with the service and the service communicate with the repository. I think you are getting confused right now, but don't worry. After getting all the package, you will be understand why I am saying this. Okay. So the repository basically communicate with our database to giving the data. Okay. And the next one, control N exception package. Okay, sorry. For search package, then dot exception. I think name itself is says is whatever the error is present, error we will getting, we have to manage that error in the exception package. Okay, so exception package is basically in a runtime exception, handle the runtime exceptions. For that we need a exception package. Okay, next one we need a control and package called dot uh, service package service and click to the finish. Service is basically to do the hard work where the our all the logic related code is present inside of the service package, which is also called the business logic. Okay, imagine if you are performing the login operations, so you have to validate the data, right? So validate is a logic. Where to write that logic? We have to write inside of the service package. If we are writing the same logic inside of the repository, then the people whose another program is uh, to working with the same project, it will be getting confused because they know the business logic is always present in the service package, but you create in the repository package, so they will be like laughing to you, and also some other things happen. So make sure you have to write the code in the right place. Okay. After service, we need a controller. Control and TSCK package dot CONTROLLER controller and finish it. Controller is a front of the layer where to start the communicate. Okay. So whatever the front end, like if you're clicking to the one single button, it will be going to communicate with the controller. Controller is communicate with the service. Service is communicate with the repository, and the repository giving communicate with the database. And whatever the data you need, it will be going to the data to the repository back, and repository going back to the service, and service giving a data to the controller, and the controller giving to the data to the client. So that data will be showing in your front end part. Okay, this is the called a layered of security. Make sure you have to understand this very beautiful concept is called a layered of security. Okay, after this okay, we done all the packages. So first of all, what we have to read here. So let's here we have to create the entity package. Entity inside of entity we have to create the our table. We cannot create the table in the controller package. Okay, so you because the structure of coding is what where to present is mandatory. Okay, so make sure the entity package you have to always having a tables related things. Okay, so just click here, control N, search to the class and enter. What will be the class name? The class name should be a nodes. Okay, after finish this and just control M now. Okay, now I want to this class nodes should be created in the our database. Till now we did not configure the our database. Okay, but I am just telling you how to do that. Okay, so if I want to create this project in a database, we have to need called annotations called at the rate entity. Till now we don't know, you don't know about the what is the annotations here, because you will be using a ddbc concept, so you will be having a confusion about the how to do that. But by using this, there all the boiler code is getting out. It will be outdated right now, so just clicking to the at the rate entity, entity entity control space. Okay, as you can see, an entity which is present in Jakarta dot persistence. Okay, just click here, and by annotation of this, it will be creating the table of the nodes. But let's suppose if I want to, the table's name should be a different, class name is different, and table name is different. So you can use here iterate table annotations. Iterate table, and here you just write whatever the table's name you want to be. Okay. If you want to be nodes only, note, it will be giving you the nodes. Okay. So, but I don't need that. So let it be entity. Okay. And Control Shift plus O to remove the unwanted package. After this, in the nodes table, we have some fields, right? So let's write all the fields we need here. So first we need integer, integer ID. Make sure it should be a private, private. Okay. Then after this, we need a private string title. Okay. Then private string content. Content means whatever the content, whatever the things you have to write in the notes, it's called the content. And then which notes you are creating, you need a date and time. So let's create a private local date and time. Make sure it should be a Java time. Uh, okay, and then the fields was created, created, created at, and the next one is private local updated it. Okay, these are the fields we need, and now these are the fields we need. But if you remember the SQL, there, if you are you don't want to be your field should be a not null or null, you have to mention that operators called the not null. So here same thing we have to do here, but in a different way. Okay, let me tell you what. First, it should be create the our ID. We need a direct ID, and after this we need at the rate generated value strategy is equal to identity. Just type the identity, control space, and you will be get a generation type dot identity. After this, now our title should not be a not null. Okay, should not be a null. Okay, so for that we have our annotations called at the rate column. Inside of column, you have to write a nullable is equal to false. So it should not be a null. Okay. Then the next one is at the rate column. Column the label is equal to false, same as it is false. And the same thing you have to do with the just copy and the created, and the same as for the updated. Okay, let's suppose if you are having a phone number. Okay, so then the phone number should be unique, which does not have same phone number to the you as well or your other people as well. Okay, so to make that unique, you will be having a attribute called unique is equal to true. Okay, imagine if you're creating the Google accounts and you want to be your favorite email called let's suppose Sheila at the rate gmail.com, but that ID is already present. That means it will be already unique for the someone else. That conditions you have to use the another email IDs which is present in the which is available for you. It's called like Sheila 12345 at the rate gmail.com. Maybe it will be work. So for that you will be having a attribute called unique is equal to true. True. But here we did not have some this kind of values fields, so we don't need here right now. After this, as you can see here, these are the fields is a private. Okay, so access these fields or properties, we need a first constructor, and next one we need getters and setters. If you remember the private class or private fields how to access, then you know that. So let's create the just right button and then source and generate constructors without a field called our default constructor first. Then after this, we have to create the generate constructor with the fields called a parameterized constructor. And then after this, we need to create the source, generate getters and setters with a select all. Imagine if you are having a password which is uh, confidential things which you have to just give it to the uh, uh, update readable options. So you just give to the getters. We did not provide the setters for that. Okay, so that you can use that way. But here I will be need both of them. Everyone we need every fields we need here. So we have to select all the fields right now. But if you're having a like email ID which should not be modifiable or updatable, in that case you have to give only getters access. We do not give the setters access to modify the email. Okay, so just generate, click to the generate. Okay, almost done right now. Okay, Control Shift plus F to give to the orientations of the program. And after this here, one more thing, to creating the update time and date, we need two methods here. Okay, so first we need a public void on create, and here CREAT. Okay, here just write this dot created is equal to local date time dot now. So it will be current time will be appears, and the next one it will be updated as well. Here this dot updated it is equal to local date time dot now. Okay, so it will be updated right now. And here, so make sure it should be updated. We need a persist here. We persist, and the one more method we need that is called a public void on update. Here we have only one field, one this dot. What is the use of this keyword? If you know that, so you will be right part. If you don't know, make sure you have to first learn the basics of the Java. This keyword is basically used to store the current object reference. Okay, and current address, not the current object reference. And here, same as local date and time dot now. Okay, and with semicolon. Now the everything is done, but one remaining thing is pre-update. I think pre-update, pre-persist and pre-update. Okay, now it's done. Okay. After this, if I run the our project, it will be not going to create this project, this table in the database. Okay. So if you are not having a belief, just save it, Control M, and come to this parent package, and there we have where our project is going to start to execute and run the our project. Just click to the run as Spring Boot app, click it and see what we are getting in the console. See, failed to configure a data source URL attribute is not specified and no embedded data source could be configured. Reason, failed to determine the suitable driver class. Okay, so if you want embedded database S2, HSQL and Derby, please put it in the class path. That means you have to first configure the database related things. So for that reasons, if you remember this folders called SRC main resources, come here and application.properties, click to the application.properties, and here we have to configure the our database related things. So I'm just copy and pasted the database configurations. You just write it, pause the video and write it first, and then move to the next part. Okay, so just Control V, not this, Window plus V, uh, where we have, okay, not first line should not be there. Okay, these are the fields we need. First, we need a Spring Data Source dot URL of your JDBC, URL of your MySQL database. That is JDBC colon MySQL colon slash slash localhost colon 3306 is a port number of the MySQL database. It's MySQL database. Okay, let me tell you what I'm saying. MySQL. As you can see here, we have a called our root, and the local host we have a 3306. This is the my port numbers. Okay, it will be different in your systems. Okay, whatever the port numbers you will be having, you just write the same port numbers here. Okay, 3306. After this slash nodes is present here, right? Here you have to write the database name. The beauty of this configuration is it will be automatically creating a database as well in your MySQL database. You don't have to create the database manually in the MySQL database. Just click here. And as you can see here, there are multiple databases present here. So you will be not manually creating the database here. It will be automatically created by the Spring Boot application. Okay. And it will be first time it will be created. After that, it will be checked if it's present, it will be not creating and terminated. So here just write like nodes hyphen, make sure you use underscore nodes management management underscore system system system. Okay, okay, this is the database name, and after this we have a question mark, and then create database if not exist is equal to true. This is the condition. That means if it's not present in database, then only you have to create it. If it's present, then perform the application operations. And the next one is we have a Spring data source dot username root. Admin is a password. In my database, the username is root. It will be different in your MySQL database. Okay. So I'm just assuming that in your database having a same name as well. But if not, make sure whatever the usernames in your database, you have to write it. So where to get that? So let's move to the home page and just click here, edit connections. As you can see here, we have the host name called localhost port 3306. Username here is root and the password here is stored in the value here. The password will be not showing here. So here the username is root, password is admin. In my case, in your case it will be different. So whatever the username and password, you write it in the same as it is. Okay. So just cancel here. So here username is root, password admin, and the same. And now here the database source java.class name is the com.mysql.cj.jgbc.driver. Right, is same as it is. After this, we have a spring.jpa have an DL auto update. Auto update is basically used if you are if you want to change something in your classes, like if you want to change something in this notes table, it will be automatically updated in your database as well. For that, you need this. But this is a development environment. When you are developing a project, you can use these things, but in the production level, you don't have to use these these three configuration. You don't need it. Okay. And the next one is spring.jpa.show SQL true. So it will be showing you the SQL query in the console when you are performing the any task. After this, we have jpa.properties.havernet.format SQL. So it will be providing the format of your SQL query, which is showing in your console. Okay. I hope you are clear right now. After this, just Control S and just close this. Control M. Let's come back here and again let's run the our project. Run as a Spring Boot app. Okay, as you can see here, the all the connection is done right now. Let me just big screen. Database this and driver this, MySQL this version, this is all the things is present here. And here, as you can see here, the Hibernate. Then the next line having a create data table. See the structure we will be getting by this by the uh, application properties called SQL query. Let me tell you what I'm saying. The application dot properties, as you can see here, the format of SQL is true. That's why we're getting the beautiful format here. Now let's come back to the here console, and it will be creating the our table in the database. Okay. So nodes management system, restart and Hibernate. This is the things created. Now let's go to the MySQL database and check is it created or not. So let's come here, click here and just come to the here and search the nodes. Yeah, as you can see here, the nodes management system is present here. Just click here, click to the table and see the table is present called our nodes. See, these are the fields called ID, content, created, title, updated it. Okay, now you will be understand till now how to create the tables in the database by using Spring Boot. This is the too much easy after using the Spring Boot applications. Okay, so can we move to the next part? Okay, let's move to the next part. Next things what we need are here. Let's come to the SASE main Java. Come back to the here entity package, and we need one more class called response structures, where we have to wrap the all the response inside of this response structure. Why I'm saying this? First, let me create a class response PUNS this response structure, and inside of this is a generic class. If you know the generics, it's okay. Else, you can go to the Google and search what is a generic class. Okay. The response structure is a type of data it will be stored. So what I'm saying here basically, this will be give you the response in the format way. Let's suppose if you're getting if you're login to the using mobile numbers and password, and you will getting the error. In that time you have to show the response to the, you will be entered the wrong id and password, right? How to get that? Because of the exception is occurred, and that exception is handle, and the handle to the exceptions, you will be getting the response in a structured way. How? By using the response structure class. Okay, let me tell you how to. Okay, so first in this class we need a three fields called a private, a string, message, to give a message like whatever the message you want to be, message MESSAGE, then private int status code. If you know the status code means, the status code means basically 501 401 400 404 related things will be coming inside of this status code int. Okay, then the next ones we need to wrap the our data in the t type of data. Whatever the data we'll be getting, it will be showing as a response body or the JSON body. You need a private t data type. Okay, after this, to access this these three fields we need to default constructor first, generate, sorry, generate sources, generate a constructor without a field first called a default constructor. Then again go to the source, generate constructor with fields called a parameterized constructor, and then we need our getters and setters to give to the accessibility of the fields. After this, now this class is ready. Now how to use this class? Let's implement the exception package, where all the exception will be present inside of this exception package, which is handled by the programmer. It will be not handled by the compiler or runtime exception. The exceptions will be handled by the programmer. Okay. Basically, the abnormal situations which is handled by the programmer is called the exception. Okay. Now, after this, let's move to the exception package here. Let's create a control N. First, click to the package called exception. Then control N. After this, create a class called nodes exception. Nodes are not found. Have only found exception. Okay. This is the first class we need. And this, see, this is the exception which will be occurred in the runtime. That is why the nodes not found exception. This is the first exception which we need to handle. Okay. To handle this, we need a one more class called control N nodes exception except execp diun exception handler. where the handler will be present to handle this exception. So note exception handler. This is the second class. So let's suppose if you are having the one more exceptions called a class cache exception or some other out of bound exceptions, you can creating like this same. Just clicking here, Control and class, and just here give to the class cache exception, class cache exception, and enter. Okay, this way you can handle it. Whatever the exceptions you will be occurred in the nodes related things. Okay, let's suppose if you are having one more fields called one more table called attendance. Okay, so you have to handle the attendance related exceptions. For that, you have to create a one more class called the exception handler, attendance exception handler, and then you have to manage the all the exceptions called attendance not found related things. Okay, this is called the structured way to write a code, and that no one will be getting confused. Okay, here we did not need a class cache exception. Just delete after this. I just explain you. Okay, okay, delete this. Now let's come back to the our implementing part. Just Control M. Okay, this is the runtime exception. Just extend with the. Okay, this is the exceptional handler, not here. In the not found exception here, just extend RU and time runtime exception class. Okay, which is present in java.lang package. And to remove this yellow underline, just click here at the default serial ID. This is not needed, but to remove that yellow line, you have to provide this. After this, we need our one constructor. By using that, we can throw the message which I want to be. That is called the custom message, which we have to throw through the application developing. Okay, so let's come here. Source, go to the generate a constructor. I think. Okay. Hash code generate a superclass. And as you can see, too many things is present. So, but we did not need a runtime exceptions. Runtime this, not this, not this. We need only this one. Runtime exception with a string. Okay, and generated. Okay, it's done now. As simple as this, it will be done now. But I have to handle this exception. I'm just defining this exception here. Okay, and we have to handle these exceptions. How to handle it? To handle in the nodes exceptional handler. So how the applications or compiler understand this is the exceptional handler class? We have to identify that is it a exceptional handler class or not, right? So let's here give it to the exceptional. I think REST controller advice. REST controller advice. By using this, it will be understand this is the exceptional handle class where the exception is getting handled. Okay. After this, the main coding is coming to the picture right now. Okay. Public search for the response entity first. Response entity is present in the worthy.springframework.http. If you remember, http means a protocol of the uh, Chrome or any Google response entity. Inside of this, we have to wrap the our response structure, which we need to send to the client side. So RESPONSE response structure. And as you can see here, the last one is response structure, which is present in the our package called org.springboot.notesmanagementsystem.entity package. Click here. After this, it should be a string type of exception handler. And here, write the name of the function called handle nodes not found exception. Inside of this, give it to the nodes not found exception class. See here inside of this argument, we have to provide the I'm going to handle this class, this exceptions called the nodes not exception. Uh, Want to handle it. How to handle it? Just import this class inside of this handler. So here we just need a nodes not found exception called exception, then and with then creating this function. After this, we have to implement the handler class. The first thing we have to need to create the object of the response structure class. Okay, so response structure type of a string structure is equal to new response structure and with semicolon, and by using this object we have to wrap the response. Okay, so structure dot send message first. What will be the message? So message is coming from the exception dot message dot get message. Let me tell you how we're getting this structure dot set data null, because when we're getting the not found exception, the data will be null. Then the structure dot set status code, that is called the protocol of the website. So what is the HTTP status? HTTP status dot not content dot values. Okay. So it will be giving you the protocol of the website. What is the error you will be getting? If you're getting a 501, it will be showing the 501. If you're getting 500, it will be showing the 500. So this is the way you have to wrap the exceptions when you are occurred in the runtime. Okay. And after this, you have to return it. So return new response entity control space. It will automatically appear this. Else, just copy from the here, this here, copy from here, control C and paste it here, control V. Okay. But we don't need right now. Okay. And here just structure, comma, HTTP status, wrap the HTTP status, not use HTTP status code. Okay, make sure you have to use HTTP status dot no content, no content. Okay, and with semicolon. Oh, this is ready. The first exception is ready. Okay, this is the way of handle the exception. But till now we did not use this exception. I'm just creating because I know this exception will be thrown in the runtime. So I just creating here and we will be using in the future reference. Okay. After this, to annotate this is the exceptional, just having the annotations called exception. EXCP exception 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 handler. To know the compiler, this is the exception class. We need these annotations called at the rate exceptional handler. But still, they it have to still they don't know which class. So here we have to define the class of the exceptions. So which class is it? Is the class of the nodes not found exception class. So control C and here provide the control V nodes not found exception dot class. So it will be understand the compiler will understand this is the exception class called not exceptions here, and going through this it will be giving to the message. As you can see here, we use that structure dot set method exception dot get message. Where to get? It will be getting from this here. Okay. So now the exception package is clear right now. Now let's move to the our coding part or to implementing the features of the nodes management system. That is called create a nodes and updating nodes related things. Control M. Now, as you can see here, we have to move to the another package called the repository service and controller. So first of all, let's close this fields called response structure. Save it, save it, close it, close this. After this, first let's create the all the class which we need to implement it. Okay. So first of all, let's move to the entity repository package. Uh, take a second. Repository package. Control N. Sorry, not a package called class. Here, name should be relatable to the repository class name. Okay. So whatever the name you will be giving, the name should also have a repository. Okay. That means let's suppose let's we have our name called nodes. How to know that it's a nodes repository class? To know that, here we have our identification of repository. SITORY repository. It will be a nodes repository. Okay. Now the anyone can understand this class is present in nodes repository package, right? But if you are not giving that repository in the name of the any class, so that you will be not understand. You will be getting message. So that's why you need to identify uniquely to the class or packages. After this, let's move to the service. Here our all the services be present. Just click here, click to the package, control and class, and here just give it to the nodes. Make sure to understand it present in the service package. Just give it to the service nodes service. Okay. Now after this, to understand the click to the controller package class, and here give it to the nodes controller. To understand, this class is present in a controller package. Okay. Now all the packages on the classes is done. We just need these three packages, and here we have to implement all the codes. Okay. So just first close this all, and to write a code and understanding a very easy way, what I'm doing basically to not getting confused. So first of all, we need a controller here. After controller, we need a service. After service, we need a repository. And after repository, we need a nodes. Okay. So that means after this, you will be not getting confused where to start, where to what to write. Okay. For that reasons, I follow this way. So let's come to the nodes repository. So it should not be a class, it should be interface. So just remove this and write interface, INTER interface. Okay. Now this is the interface. So here we can achieve the 100% abstractions. If you know that what is the abstraction. Now if I want to communicate this repository to the database, we have to identify first key this is the repository class. So how to identify this? By annotating @, repository. So it will be understand this is the repository class which have a work which I assigned to the work. You have to go to the database and communicate with the database. Okay, I assigned the tasks to the nodes class, nodes repository class. Okay, and to get all the method get all the related function to communicate with the database, we need to extend with the JPA repository. JPA, okay, JPA repository, where all the related function is already present. So JPA repository accept two argument. First is a class. So class will be a, let's take nodes. Why no? Because the control space, and make sure you have to import the packages as well. Else you will be getting the red line. Okay. So nodes is presented org.springboot.nodes management system.entity. Enter it. Then ID. Inside of ID we need integer. Okay. So now, as you can see here, the interface nodes repository extend to the JPA repository, which have a class called nodes. And if you remember, the nodes is present in the our database, right? So it will be going to the database and give you the data what you needed. Else it will be give you the error or return the response. Okay. Now this repository is done right now. Now let's move to the service. Now if I see node service class where I have to write the all the business logic, right? How to understand the compiler. So this is the service class. You have to perform the only service related operations. For that we have annotations called @service. Okay. Till now it will be not communicate with the repository, or it will be not auto wide with the repository to get all the related function which is present in the nodes repository. Why? Because extend to the JPA repository. So whatever the method is present in the JPA repository, it will be coming inherited to the nodes repository. That means we can get all the methods through the nodes repository in the nodes service class. How? By auto-wired with the nodes repository. How to auto-wired? So let's create the object of the nodes repository class, nodes repository interface. So just an OTE controller space REP. Okay, as you can see here, the first number is showing that nodes repository, which is present in org.springboot.nodes management system.repository. Click here and then object there, and make sure it should be a private. And after this, still it will be not communicate with the repository because we did not auto wide with that. So here auto wide automations. By using this, it will be auto wide within nodes repository. Okay. Now let's move to the controller, and controller have to communicate with the service. Okay. It will be communicate to the node service. So here controller. So first, whatever the things we have, the all the control having to this controller. Okay. Or else you can use the REST controller. Sorry. Controller space REST controller. Okay. Here we have two auto wired between node service to get to communicate with the controllers should communicate with the node service. We need to auto wired. Okay. So creating the nodes object here, nodes service ser. So as you can see here, node service which is present in org.springboot.node service nodes management system.service package, and create to the node service, and with semicolon it should be a private and auto wired. So auto wired with the node service. Okay, this is the way of communicating the our database, our operations. So now you will be understanding what is happening. When the client click to the any button, it will communicate with the controller. Okay, it coming to the controller. Controller is going to the node service. Node service going to the repository. Repository going to the nodes class. Basically, nodes class is a database where the table is present is nodes and communicate with that and giving you the data to the repository giving to the data back to the node service and node service giving data back to the controller and the controller giving to the data to the uh, client or front end side. Okay, so now let's move to the node service package where all the business logic is present here. So first of all here, the first things we need are to implement the uh, so the first functions we have to create a nodes. So make sure this should be having a public as access modifier should be a public. Then this first entity which is present in org.springframework.http. Then here the response structure. So wrapping response structure inside of the response entity, and then here we have to what type of operation create a nodes. So create a nodes means a nodes class of the operations. Okay, after this here you have to give it to the name of the create nodes. Then here you have to give it to the nodes class object or argument. Sorry. Okay, am I getting any error here? Okay. Okay, import the nodes. Okay, create a nodes here. So give it to the nodes, nodes, and with semicolon. Okay. Okay, now this function is created. Okay, now we have to implement this function. How to implement this function? So first of all, you have to understand this is the public. Access modified is the public. Response entity, which is inside of the response entity wrapped with the response structure and nodes. Here, response structure first, same as response structure, creating the object of the response structure, and then structure is equal to new response structure and with semicolon. Then here, here the repository come to the picture. How? Let me tell you how. First of all, here the structure dot set data. If you are directly saving to the data, you can save it like this, but it will be not performing that. Why? The save method is present in our nodes repository. Here, use that variables called nodes repository dot save. As you can see here, the save is present CRUD operator, CRUD repository, and here let's identify the nodes object here. Now it will be saved to the data. See the structure dot set data nodes repository dot save nodes here. Control Z. Okay. Now the next line is structure dot set message. Message will be created. CREAD created. SUCE double S success. FU double LY successfully. then structure dot set status code. That should be a http status dot created dot value. After this, return new response entity. Okay, structure comma http status dot created. Okay, and with semicolon. Okay, now the first function is completed. Oh, so basically in these functions, what is happening? The first line is you will understand. You already understand. The next one is response structure, creating the object of the response structure class. By using that, we have to wrap all the data through this by using structure.setData. And if you remember, response structure is accepting the T type of data. That means any type of data will be accepted. Okay. So set data nodes repository. I am using the repository object here. Why? It will be auto wide with the nodes repository. So basically, the whatever the method is present in the nodes repository, it will automatically come to the here, and I'm using by using that object. So nodes repository dot save method is present, and here we just have to provide the nodes object to the here. By using that, it will be saving to the data. It giving you the message and a status code, and it will be giving you the response. Now, just copy to the first line here. Control C. Let's go to the controller, and here we have to import this. Now here, imagine here it's a nodes controller, but if you having a multiple controller and the client sending to the request to the direct to the controller, so it will be giving getting confused the where which controller what request is coming. So for that reasons we have one more annotations here, at the rate request mapping, there you have to give into the default URL here. So I'm just giving to the default URL is a slash and over the nodes hyphen controller. Okay, just nodes is enough now. Okay, nodes. So whatever the request coming is directly coming to the this controller and the private node service, and here just return node service through this. Okay, and ODF nodes service dot create nodes. So imagine, remember the node service is auto-wide with the nodes controller auto-wide with the node service. Okay, by using the object of the node service, we just get that methods called create nodes. Okay, after this here, first of all here, to save the records properly, we need a request body. Okay, request body, and it should be a post request. We have called a post mapping. When you are saving a confidential information, then it will be a post mapping. Okay, here you have to giving to the uh, URL inside of this. So I just giving to the URL called create create. Okay, nodes slash create. Okay, okay. The first function is all first API is ready. Okay, now just control M. Okay, control M. Let's run our project first. Let me run it. Run as a Spring Boot application. Okay. Now let's open to the Postman. P-O-S-T, Postman. So first of all, you have to see here which port is having here. So as you can see here, the port number is starting on a port of 8080. It may be a different in your systems. Whatever the port numbers you will be having, enter the same port number in the Postman. Okay. So just come back here. So what is the URL is basically URL is see here already having a market attendance. So just remove this, remove it, remove it, remove it, remove it, remove it. So here, let's suppose here we have a HTTP colon slash slash localhost 8080, which is a port number of the Apache server. Okay. So as you can see here, 8080. Just here, localhost 8080 slash to request to the particular controllers. Here we have our request mapping where slash nodes is present. Okay. So slash, first remove this, slash NOTES nodes. Now it will be coming to this controller class, nodes controller, and in the set of nodes controllers, what are the functions we have? So I'm performing the create our nodes. So what is the URL? Slash create. Okay. So just enter the slash create create. Okay. Then after this, here as you can see here, there are too many options. To saving the records, we need a body. So here, as you can see here, we have a body. Let's go to the here. After this, click to the row. Okay, click to the row. Then JSON. Yeah, and then here we have to select the JSON format. And here you have to write whatever you want to be. As you can see here, when you are in the application side, then you will be directly typing in the notes. Okay, but in the Postman, you have to check like this. Okay. So title, let's suppose title, I want to be a title should be a Java. So I can understand easily. This is the Java related nodes. Okay. And inside of this, I'm writing a Java is a high level, HIGS high level, LEVL level, object oriented programming language. Okay. Which is easily to read, easily to understand. Okay. After this, as you can see here, before that, just come to the here and see this is the post mapping, right? So here you have to select the right mapping to check that. So just come here and see there are too many things: get, post, put, patch, delete, head option. So the our method is our API is a post type. Okay, after selecting this, just send it to the select to the send. Boom. As you can see here, we will getting the message in the wrapped with the response entity. Yes. See, the status is a 201 call are created. That is the protocol of the HTTP. Message created successfully. And after this, the data is here, which is wrapped in a T format. Now you will be yeah. Now your doubt is getting solved. Okay. So inside of data, having a ID1, title Java, content this, and also created to the time and updated the time. To see this result response in the database, so let's go to the MySQL. As you can see here, first of all, just remove this, remove it. Okay. As you can see here, there in the nodes, there is nothing is present, but in the moment of the refresh, it will be getting that data. Okay. So here we have a refresh button. Just click this. See, Java is a high level programming language. Title is a Java and the time and date is present here. Okay, that means the first API is done right now. and the first milestone is achieved by using this. Okay. Now let's move to the next APIs. So the next features which we need to implement. Just come back to the service package where we have to write the our service logic. Control M, and here the next one is public response entity response structure nodes type is nodes, and the function is called update update node. Okay, then here add the argument of the object of the node. Okay, after this again after this we have to create the object of the response structure class response structure wrapped in the nodes here, and OTS nodes structure is equal to new response structure add with semicolon. Now in the updating the node, first you have to validate, right? That means first you have to log in your system. Let's suppose I am MD Anas and I'm having a Amazon account, okay? And I want to update my information. How to update it? Before updating the my information, the Amazon will check is it MD Anas or not, right? How to check here? So before updating any information, it will be checked that is it Anas or not. Also validate it should be log into the system. Only it will after login to the system it will be update to the to their information. Else else by using the if you are forgetting your password in those conditions you need to identify by the OTP. In the same way here, to validate I am the MDNS and my data is present in the database or not, here the same thing use here. So for that here we have one one framework called optional. Sorry, it's not a framework, it's a class of the optional. And here wrapped with the nodes and OTS nodes and OTS. Okay, nodes receive nodes is equal to nodes repository dot find by ID of. So as you can see here, till now we did not provide any ID in the argument. Okay, in the formal argument we need one more parameters called ID because here the ID is unique. We did not have here a email or password. So that's why here we only have a ID. ID is always unique. So but just use that. So here integer ID, and the same way here just write to the ID and with semicolon. So as you can see here the optional is a class. By using this class we have some method which is present in the optional, and by using that we can validate is it present or not. So I receive nodes is equal to nodes repository dot find by ID. It will be finding to the ID. If the ID is present, that data will be coming to the receive nodes. After this, just here validate here if receive nodes receiving nodes dot, as you can see here the too many method is present. So to is, as you can see here the is which is present in optional class. So is empty or is present. So I am checking the is empty is present here. If it's present, then what we have to do? We have to save the data, right? Updating is same as the as this save, right? But here we just have to check that data is present or not, and it should be validated to that data and then save it. So here, first of all, we have to create the object of the nodes class. So nodes exist nodes is equal to receive nodes dot get. Okay. So if I'm creating the exist nodes object, and inside of this we have to store that data, the data of the particular ID. Okay, receive node dot get. So the data is coming to the exist node, and after this we have to updating the data. So how to update that? We must use exist nodes dot set. As you can, if you remember that in the nodes we already provide to the getters and setters to this field. So by using that we can modify the our titles and Java. So exist nodes dot set title first, the title, and how to save it. After this, just nodes control nodes dot get title. Then again exist nodes dot set content nodes dot get content. Okay. Only two things is modifiable here. We do not have to modify the other things. So after this, okay, only two things is here. A field is modifiable. So we just giving to the access of these two fields. After after this, just again create the object of the nodes class. Okay, update update nodes nodes is equal to exist nodes here exist nodes. Okay, so whatever the things updated, it will be coming to the update nodes, right? Not like that, I think. Here, instead of exist nodes, we have to first perform the nodes repository dot save exist nodes. Okay, so now it will be saving to the data. After validating and then set to the data, and then again creating the object of the node type, that is called update nodes, and here nodes repository dot save exists nodes. That means in the time of typing whatever the values you have typed, that should become inside of this exist node. Why? Because of the set title and the set content. Okay, after this, let's come here and as usual wrap to the structure dot set data update nodes, right? Update nodes and structure dot set message message updated successfully, and the nodes updated successfully. SUCE double S success FU double L Y successfully. After this, structure dot set status code HTTP status dot what we have. Okay, dot value. Okay, but make sure it should be in the control X before the data is saving say to the data. Okay, now return new response entity wrapped with the this and structure comma http status dot okay and with semicolon. So this is the if it's present, then you have to perform the update. What if not present? Then you have to throw the error. If you remember our exception package where the exception is handled, I am using that exceptions to handle this unwanted movement or unwanted error. Okay, so here use that. So throw, just use a throw new exception. Sorry, nodes first nodes again not found exception hand control space button. And see, in the third place, we will getting the nodes not found exception, which is present in org.springframework dot exceptions dot nodes exception package. So just click here and get it. And as you can see here, we will getting the custom way to write the message. So the right here inside of this write the message, the the nodes not found, not found. Okay. We can also concatenate, but okay, is it right? No problem with that. So it will be handling the exception as well. Okay. So this is the also done right now. Just copy to the first line and move to the controller. And here just paste it and return node service, control space, node service dot update nodes. Okay, which having the ID, nodes and ID. And after this, same as usual here, we have to provide the request body, to the nodes object and integer ID. This is the ID. So where to put this ID? We have to need to path variable. @path path variable. Let me tell you what is the use of the path variable inside of it. As you can see, this is the put nodes, update nodes. So update nodes always prefer to the put mapping. Okay, so here search put control space put mapping is there. Inside of this slash update. Okay, inside of the double quotes. Till now, as you can see here, we have a path variable. The name itself is saying the path. In the path, you have to giving to this variable. So here, just giving to the slash curly braces ID here. So inside of URL, you have to enter to the ID. Okay, this is also done, or we'll check it later, or else we can check right now. Just go to the Postman again. Postman. Okay, let's move to the and just copy the URL from here. Control C, Control V. But what we have here, it is a put mapping API, and the URL is slash update. But again, at the slash, what we have to what have to provide here? ID. What if I entered the wrong ID? Let me enter to the 3 and the body row and the text should be in a JSON format. Here, even to the so let's copy to this body. Control C. Just come here. Control V, and instead of Java, I'm just writing Java nodes, okay, and OTES nodes, and let's send it. Oh, quickly getting the error. Error connect encountered use of the. Okay, I think the error is server is not started. So let's come here, Control M. See, the server is stopped here. So let's run the our server. Okay, it's running. Okay, let's go to the Postman and send it. See, the no content found. Okay, no content found error is coming here. So what if I are giving to the right ID? Let's suppose I'm giving to the update. What? See, nodes updated successfully. Nodes updated successfully. And let's that means the our this API is also working here. Now let's move to the next APIs. Okay, so let's implement to the next features. Control M. Now the next one is before that, let me just giving to the orientations so that okay. Okay, now it looks better. And just here copy this Control C, Control V API, and this is also create nodes, Control C. Here Control V API. Okay, two APIs done right now. Let's move to the third one. The third one is a public response entity, response structure, string. Why string? Because I'm performing the delete operations. Delete. So delete nodes here, nodes, and so if you want to delete the nodes, we need a ID here. That is an integer ID, and here first response structure. Sorry, RES response structure. Response structure. Anything happen here? Okay, something is happening here. Control Z. Oh, is it right? Okay. Response structure. Okay. Then again here string after this structure is equal to new response structure and with semicolon. After this, we have to first validate. So same as usual, optional nodes here and over TES nodes, receive nodes and over TES nodes is equal to find the nodes. Okay, so nodes repository dot find by ID. So if it's present, if the receive nodes is present, sorry, res receive nodes is present, dot is present, then what we have to do? We have to perform the delete. How? Just nodes repository dot delete by ID. Delete by ID. This is present in the CRUD repository inside of the nodes repository, which is extend to the JPA repository. Through that, we have to perform these operations. After this, the structure dot set data will be node. deleted, deleted, deleted successfully, successfully, okay. Then after this, structure dot set message, sorry, uh, dot set dot set message success, success, success. Okay, structure dot set status code. Here you have to print giving to the http status dot okay dot value. After this, just come back to the uh, come outside to the, before that, return new wrapped in the response entity response structure comma http status dot okay and with semicolon, and outside of this throw what if that id is not found, then throw new nodes not found exceptions, nodes not found exception. The I'm just giving here nodes not not found exception. Okay, this API is also done. Now just getting to this, control C, control C, controller, coming here, control V, return new, sorry, not new, nodes repository, node service, node service dot delete nodes. Okay, and it should also be a path variable, just annotated as @path variable, and it is the delete, it is the delete API. So let me search that it is having a delete mapping or not. See, the delete mapping is having. So instead of this URL is delete slash delete 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 slash curly braces id is the path variable, and that's why it's the id. After this, so this API is also done. So let's suppose before that, let's save one more. One is let's take SQL. And here you have to provide a SQL is a query language. Query language. Query language. LUND language, which is used to communicate with the database, which is used to communicate with database DB. Okay, let's save it. Let me come here, control M. See, server is running. Just save it first to restart the server. Okay, it's just restarting the server. Now let's go to the Postman and save this. Okay, the one more data is saved with the ID called 2. And let's move to the next tab. Select, this is the delete. URL is this, and the slash. What is the URL of this? The slash delete DELETE. Okay, then slash ID. So let's enter the ID 5. Oh, no content found. Okay. No content is coming because of the, here the spelling of message is different. That is why we will not getting that. So let's just refactor this. How to refactor? Okay, okay, refactor. Rename it MESSAGE message. Okay. Now let's go to the here and check and the here message. Let's come here. ME. Okay, everywhere we have to modify this. Okay, okay. Control M. That E double. Okay, here let's modify to the that ME double has AG message. What happened? What happened, guys? Okay, let me first check what is the problem. Okay, we also have to modify in the constructor as well. That is why. Oh. Okay, no problem, no problem. So let's remove this first. Okay, again generate this. Going to the source, generate constructor without a field generated. Again, source, generate a constructor with a fields. After this, generate a constructor. Sorry, generate getters and setters using all the fields and generated. Control Shift plus F. Control S. Now let's move to the here. Change to the set message. Okay. MESSAG. Set message. Set message. Okay. Everywhere is now. Okay, Control M. Now let me check it after all this. Go to the Postman. Let me check. Send it. Okay. Send it again. Error. Internal server error. Exceptions not found. Exceptions. Notes not found. Exceptions. Okay, but the exception is throwing right now. But as you can see here, in the notes exceptions, we will getting the error. Okay, notes exceptions, we will getting the error set message. Just here, change to the set message. After this, save it and go back to the again. This is called the abnormal situations which we have to handle it. Okay, so let's send it again. Yeah, now is it right? And I'm getting the response. So our this API is also done. What if I enter to the right ID? Let's enter to the 2 and send it. See, we will getting the message success, status code 200, data nodes deleted successfully. That means our delete API is working fine. Now let's move to the another API called view all the nodes. So let's go to the node service, Control M. Just close this one, close it, close it. So let's here come here, public response entity, response structure. After this, this should be a, I think, node type. Sorry. See, if I want to get all the nodes, that means it will be not one single nodes. It will be having a multiple nodes. For that, we need a list. Okay. By using that, we can get multiple nodes at a time. So here inside of list, we have to write the nodes here and OTS nodes. Then here view all nodes and OTS nodes. Okay. Or after this, what we have to do here, just response structure as usual, response structure list of nodes structure is equal to new response structure and with semicolon, then again optional list of nodes. Okay, receive nodes is equal to nodes repository dot. Is that present? Yeah, the find all method is present here. Just click here and with semicolon. But I'm getting the error. Why? The type mismatch cannot convert list nodes to the optional. Okay, no problem. Let's remove to the list here. Okay. Oh, what is happening? What is happening? Okay, okay. Control Z. Just remove to the optional here. We don't need a optional here because our list already present are too many methods inside of the list and with semicolon. And now if one more thing, you do not getting confused. API. Okay. If receive, sorry, yaar, having sorry, I'm always doing a spelling mistakes. So for that, sorry. Is present or the present is not present in a list. So what are the other method is present in a list? Dot size is present. Dot size is greater than zero. Then what we have to do? That means you have a multiple list of nodes in the database. Then perform the structure dot set message, and the message will be nodes found, nodes found, found, and the structure dot set data receive nodes. Okay, structure dot set status code, http status dot okay dot value. Okay, and after this return new response entity structure comma http status dot okay and with semicolon. And here what if size is less than of 0, then throw new nodes not found exception, was not found exception, and the exceptions will be what nodes not found and what yes nodes Yes, nodes not found exception. Not found. Okay. And with semicolon. Okay. This API is also done here. Now just copy to the first line, go to the controller and just paste it here and return return node service node service node service dot view all nodes and with semicolon. As you can see here, this is the get mapping because we are getting all the nodes. So that means we have to search that get mapping is present. Yeah, is it present? And the all the nodes is present in our default URL. So the default URL is localhost 808 slash nodes. So when we enter this all the values will be appeared. Okay. So now after this, just control M. Okay, our server is running. Just save it to restart the server. Okay. Now it is restart the server. Okay, restart the server. Let's go to the Postman, and the next will be again just slash. What is the default URL of this? Localhost colon 8080 slash nodes. Okay. Now here let's send it. Yeah, we're getting the ID of one. What if the nodes is more than one? Because currently we have only one data in the database. Because the second one is deleted recently. So let's come back to the post mapping and let's save it again. Save it with the ID 3. Now just get mapping and send it. See, the two ID is present. There are two nodes is present in the database. That means our program is working fine and we have done this all the projects, all the related features of the nodes. Okay, this is the basics project, but you have to learn how to build the applications related backend APIs. Okay, so now we will done this project and I hope you will understand and you have to perform some other operations here. Okay, so that's all about in this videos. Thank you for watching coding pills, just like taking small pills of knowledge every day. Don't be getting headache. Just take a cup of coffee and just relax it after completing this project.